Sunday dinner turned into the last night Jenna and I were ever together. I'm 29, she's 27, and we'd been dating for 2 years. For the past 8 months, she'd been living in my apartment. Things seemed steady until she began picking at something that had always been a part of my life. My mom. My father passed away 3 years ago, so it's just been Mom, Carol 58, and me plus my sister when she's around. Mom lives about 20 minutes away, has her own friends, hobbies, and routines. Twice a month, I take her out for Sunday dinner. 4 hours a month. That's it. Jenna knew this when we got together. In fact, in the beginning she tagged along a few times and claimed she loved seeing how close my family was. Then half a year ago, the comments began. Do we really have to go every other Sunday? Don't you think your mom is a little needy? Isn't it weird how much you prioritize her? Each time I explained, Mom isn't needy. She has her own full life, but these dinners are our way of staying connected. Jenna seemed to let it go, at least for the moment. Fast forward to last weekend, Mom's birthday. I'd booked her favorite Italian restaurant weeks earlier. Jenna knew about it, and that morning she announced she wanted to come. Great, no issue. We sat down, ordered appetizers, and out of nowhere Jenna started in on my mom. Carol, don't you think it's time to let go a little? He's nearly 30. Mom blinked, confused. Let go of what, sweetheart? This whole dinner thing. It's excessive. Healthy boundaries matter. You can't expect him to prioritize you forever. Mom quietly set her fork down. I don't expect anything. These dinners mean as much to him as they do to me. Sure they do, Jenna muttered, rolling her eyes. Then she turned to me and laid it out. Your mother or me. Choose now. The table went silent. I could feel people at nearby tables watching. I studied her face for maybe 3 seconds before answering. That's easy. I stood, walked to Mom's chair, helped her into her coat, and said, There's a gelato place down the street. Jenna's voice cracked high. Wait, what? You're not serious. You asked me to choose. I chose. She started laughing and crying at the same time. You prepaid? You knew I was going to. No. I hoped you'd behave. But I like being prepared. We left her behind, shouting about manipulation, emotional incest, and how I'd regret this. The last thing I heard was her insisting to the waiter that we weren't finished eating. That night, when I got home, my phone nearly exploded. 60+ missed calls. Dozens of texts. A sampling. That was cute. When are you coming back? Your mom loved that stunt, didn't she? I'm throwing your PlayStation in the trash. Baby, please, it was one comment. Your mom can't keep you warm in bed. If you're not home by midnight, I'm calling the cops. I replied once, moving truck at 9 a.m. Please don't be there. She assumed I was bluffing. Monday morning I showed up with my buddy Dimitri's moving crew. Jenna was still there, wearing my old college hoodie, tears streaming. Baby, this is crazy. One fight doesn't mean the end. You gave me an ultimatum between you and my mother at her birthday dinner. That's not just one fight. I was making a point. Point received. Now please move. I need to get to my dresser. She blocked the movers. This is my home too. Your name isn't on the lease. You've been here as my guest. Legally, it's my place. Not long after, she called backup. Her mom, Patricia, burst in furious. What is this nonsense? You don't break up over a misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding, I said. Jenna told me to choose between her and my mom. All women test men like that. You failed. No, I passed. I don't do tests. I don't do ultimatums. And I won't allow anyone to disrespect my mom on her birthday. Patricia tried again. She loves you. She's been planning a future. Yeah. A future that cuts me off from my family. Hard no. Meanwhile, the movers kept working, ignoring the drama. Boxes piled up. Furniture came apart. Jenna, desperate, played her so-called trump card. I'm pregnant. Everything froze. The movers paused. Patricia gaped. I just shook my head. No, you're not. How could you possibly know that? Jenna snapped. Because last week you had your period. You sent me out to buy tampons on Wednesday. The receipt's probably still in my car. The movers couldn't help themselves. One snickered, another whispered, "Brutal." Patricia's face went scarlet. "Jenna Marie, you lied?" "I was trying to save us." Even her mom looked sickened. And that was the end. By the time noon rolled around on Monday, everything I owned was packed into the truck. I hadn't taken anything that wasn't mine. Left the furniture we'd bought together. Left whatever she had contributed. I figured fair was fair. As the movers wrapped up, Jenna tried one last time to pull me back in. "Where are you even going?" "Back to your mommy's house," she sneered. "Nope. Most of this is going into storage. I'll be staying with Dimitri until I find a new place. I already have 3 apartment showings lined up." Her eyes widened. "This is insane. You're really throwing away 2 years over this. You ended it when you made me choose between you and my mom. I just followed through." As the truck pulled away, she stood in the doorway, swimming in my old hoodie, staring like she couldn't believe I'd actually done it. The rest of the week started out relatively calm. Tuesday through Thursday, Jenna kept texting, swinging wildly between begging, apologizing, insulting me, threatening me. I ignored every single message. Friday, though, she escalated. My receptionist called up at the office. "There's a Jenna here. Says it's urgent." I came down to the lobby to find her with a box. Before I could say a word, she dumped it on the floor. Every scrap I'd ever given her, movie stubs, handwritten notes, trinkets, even jewelry. She pulled each thing out like it was a scene in some dramatic play. "This teddy bear from the fair. These earrings you gave me for Christmas." My co-workers were gathering around, whispering. Janet from HR hovered nearby, frowning. "Jenna, you need to leave." I told her flatly. "Not until you admit this is insane. Security's on their way." Her voice cracked. "You'd really call security on me? After everything? You came to my job to cause a scene." "Yeah, I would." She grabbed the teddy bear, ripped its head off, and threw the stuffing in the air. "That's what you did to my heart." Security arrived. 2 guys who looked like they were trying hard not to laugh. "Ma'am, you need to leave. This is between me and my boyfriend." I corrected. She hurled the headless bear at me before being escorted out, shrieking about true love and my weird fixation on my mother. Janet pulled me aside afterward. "Are you okay? That was a lot." "I'm fine. Sorry about the scene." "Don't worry about it. But maybe think about a restraining order." At the time, I figured I'd wait. Maybe she'd burn herself out. Spoiler, she didn't. Saturday morning, I was at Dimitri's place making breakfast when his phone buzzed. It was his girlfriend, Why is some girl named Jenna messaging me on Instagram saying you're harboring a domestic abuser?" Yeah, Jenna had found Dimitri through my socials, then tracked down his girlfriend, and unloaded a rant about me being manipulative, abusive, and how Dimitri was enabling me. Thankfully, already knew the full story and wasn't buying it. She just replied with a string of clown emojis. Jenna blocked her right after, but she wasn't finished. The next day, Mom called. "Sweetheart, Patricia is here." I drove straight over and found Jenna's mom sitting in Mom's living room, sipping tea like she belonged there. "He's clearly unable to form healthy adult relationships," Patricia was saying. "His attachment to you is preventing him from committing to Jenna." Mom sat politely, hands folded, letting her rant. When Patricia finally paused, Mom asked calmly, "Are you done?" "I'm trying to help." "No, you're trying to push me into pressuring my son back into a relationship with your daughter. Let me be clear. Any woman who makes him choose between us isn't worthy of him. I raised him to have standards, and he's showing them." Patricia spluttered. "It was one mistake." "It wasn't a mistake," I cut in. "It was a deliberate ultimatum. And it blew up in her face." "She didn't mean it," Patricia insisted. "Then she shouldn't have said it. Not at my birthday dinner. Not in public," Mom said firmly, rising to her feet. "It's time for you to leave." Patricia tried a final plea. "This will destroy Jenna. She loves him." "No," Mom said softly. "She loves controlling him. That's not love." Patricia stormed out, but not before declaring I was throwing away the best thing that ever happened to me. That night, Jenna made a public post. "Some men never grow up. Always choosing mommy over real love." She tagged me. I ignored it. My sister didn't. She commented, "Weird way to admit you tried isolating someone from their family, but okay." Jenna's friends attacked my sister. My sister's friends fired back. It spiraled into a full-on comment war. I muted notifications and focused on apartment hunting. By Tuesday, I'd found a great one-bedroom closer to work, signed the lease and planned to move in Saturday. Wednesday, a text from an unfamiliar number. "Heard you got a place." That was fast. Already had it lined up. I didn't answer. Thursday, I drive by sometimes. "Your car's never at Dimitri's at night." "Who is she?" Still ignored. Friday, "I know you're seeing someone. Just admit it." Finally, I caved and texted back. "I'm at my mom's playing Scrabble. She just wrecked me with a 7-letter word." "Happy?" Her reply. "You're actually at your mom's on a Friday night?" "Yes. Living my best life. Please stop texting." This is pathetic that it didn't take long for Jenna to cross another line. After her barrage of texts, she tried a new tactic. "Yet you're the one stalking me." "Interesting," I wrote back. She went quiet for about an hour. Then another message came through. "I'm coming over to your mom's house." A bold claim. Except this time she followed through. Mom and I saw her pull up from the window. She sat in her car for nearly 20 minutes, clearly psyching herself up. Finally, she climbed out and rang the bell. Mom opened the door with the kind of calm only she can muster. "Jenna." "What a surprise." "I need to talk to him." "He doesn't want to talk to you," Mom replied evenly. "That's for him to say." I stepped into the doorway behind Mom. "I don't want to talk to you. Just give me 5 minutes." "No. You asked me to choose. I made my choice. There's nothing left to discuss." She tried to force her way inside, but that was a mistake. Mom may be 58, but she does yoga and Pilates 4 days a week. She shifted her stance and blocked Jenna like a brick wall. "Young lady," Mom said, voice sharp. "Leave my property before I call the police." "You're all insane." "Completely insane," Jenna shouted. "And yet," Mom said coolly, "you're the one showing up uninvited to harass us. So which of us is really insane here?" Jenna stomped back to her car, slammed the door so hard it rattled, and sped off. Mom and I went back to our Scrabble game. She laid down Quincy on a triple word score for 401 points. "Good riddance to that one," she said, jotting her score with a smile. A week later came the final act. Moving day. Dimitri and his guys were helping again, and we were nearly done loading up when a car screeched into the lot. Out came Jenna with 2 suitcases. "I'm moving in with you," she declared. Everyone froze. Dimitri let out a sharp laugh. "No, you're not," I said. "You can't just throw me away. I gave you 2 years of my life. And I gave you 2 years of mine. We're even. I turned down other guys for you. Congrats on being faithful in a relationship. That's literally the bare minimum." She plopped the suitcases down like she was staking a claim. "I'm not leaving." "Cool. Dimitri, call the cops." "You wouldn't dare," she snapped, panicking when she saw Dimitri already dialing. I'll tell everyone about your thing." "What thing?" I asked, genuinely curious. "You know. I really don't. That you cry during Pixar movies." The movers burst out laughing. One muttered, "Bro, everyone cries it up." Jenna's face twisted. "Fine. I'll tell everyone you lasted 2 minutes our first time." "It was my first time ever. What's your excuse for all the other times?" The crew was doubled over. Even Dimitri had tears in his eyes from laughing. "You're humiliating me," Jenna screeched. "I'm just moving furniture. You're the one putting on a show." That's when the police arrived, same 2 officers as last time. The older one sighed as he walked up. "Domestic dispute?" he asked, already weary. "She's trying to move into my new apartment against my will," I explained. "He's abandoning me," Jenna wailed. The officer gave me a flat look. "Is this your girlfriend?" We broke up 2 weeks ago." The cop blinked. 2 weeks, and she's trying to move in with you?" "Dedicated," I said with a shrug. The younger cop shook his head. "Ma'am, you can't force someone to live with you. That's not how this works." "But I love him." "Still not how it works." They guided her back to her car, suitcases in hand, while she sobbed about wasted years and broken hearts. The younger officer waited until she drove off before muttering, "Man, good call on ending that." After that, the move finished without drama. We hauled everything into my new apartment, ordered pizza, and I spent my first night there in absolute silence. Bliss. The place is perfect. Work's been understanding about the scene Jenna caused in the lobby. Mom and I kept our Sunday dinners, now with the added bonus of laughing about all the insanity. Through mutual friends, I heard Jenna's been telling anyone who will listen that I'm in some kind of emotional incest with my mom. Ironically, she's already dating a new guy from her gym. A guy who doesn't talk to his family at all. Perfect fit, right? Except apparently his mom calls him 6 times a day and tracks his location. Jenna just hasn't discovered that little detail yet. Patricia left Mom a voicemail apologizing for the misunderstanding and suggested we all sit down for dinner to move forward. Mom didn't even bother calling back, just deleted the message. My sister baked me a cake with "choose correctly" written across it in icing. We laughed until Mom had tears in her eyes as we cut into it at Sunday dinner. The cherry on top? Jenna made a TikTok rant about toxic mama's boys. It got 12 views. One comment read, "Sounds like you're the toxic one, sis." So here's what I've learned. When someone gives you an ultimatum, them or your family, they've already shown you who they are. Believe them. They're not family material. They're not partner material. And Jenna, because I know you're reading this, your friend Tara definitely sent you the link. Mom says hi. We're having tiramisu at Sunday dinner this week. Your favorite. We'll think of you while we're not eating it with you. Peace out. Edit. Stop asking for Mom's Scrabble strategies. She says they're top secret. Edit 2. For anyone insisting I'm too close to my mom, we have dinner twice a month. If that sounds like too much, maybe look at your own family dynamic. Edit 3. No, Jenna's TikTok still hasn't cracked more than a dozen views.